It's not easy to change plastic, to change the kinds of fuels we use, to figure out ways to make basic needs like clean water more accessible. But we did. See, a lot of the world's problems, we've already figured out ways to solve them. The issue isn't the lack of sustainable alternatives or solutions. It's the implementation, the execution, the follow-through of those ideas to society. We need to fund scientists so the solutions we already have get developed to be more competitive with our current methods. We need world leaders working with scientists to make data-driven policies and so much more. But at the heart of all this, I think we need to first make critical thinkers out of as many citizens as possible, specifically through science communication. In a paper that reviewed literature relating science and the public, they said scientists are capable of inspiring critical thinking within society. Okay, I can give you an invention right now to solve a specific issue of the world, but if there's anything more frustrating this pandemic has shoved to my face every day, is that solutions exist, masks, testing kits, vaccines, you name it. But if people are not scientific in the way they make decisions, or if people don't even understand what wearing a mask means during a pandemic, it's going to be a painful cycle for all of us. What I'm saying is, we need to promote a world that runs on science and reason, not illogical things like greed, discrimination, and arrogance. With more science communicators, we promote scientific reasoning in our lives. We make it a habit to ask why, to understand processes, and in turn we make better decision makers. In other words, better voters who don't defend incompetent officials, and also better consumers. And just like any other complex issue in the world, any solution alone, even science communication, isn't enough. But I find there's a great need to promote scientific thinking online. People post the most illogical, the most outright headache-giving comments on the internet. But what's cool to think about is that they're probably your relative, your friend, your friend's relative, or your friend's friend's relative. We can take advantage of the internet connecting so many people. If you're someone who has the time, who has some energy to spare for the world, become your local science communicator. We all learn in unique ways, and when there are more science communicators out there teaching in those unique ways, we increase our chances of engaging more and more people in science. In addition, a paper I mentioned earlier showed that the preferred model of science communication seems to be an interactive process, closer to a dialogue than to one-way mass communication. So don't worry so much about not having thousands of people taking in your content. Take any scientific concept that intrigues you and nerd out. Lastly, don't be afraid of dumbing down science because there is no such thing. Science is just a series of logical reasoning, of showing the connections between events. Your job is to promote that activity to around 5 people you know. And when there's a good number of us doing that, we all made the world a little smarter than it was yesterday.